All right, and we're back. Today's video, we're going to be changing the headlight in the Hyundai Kona. Bear with me, let me get this hood propped. Now, the only reason I'm opening the hood is to try to give me a little extra light. Trying to see where the heck we're at. All right, so the headlight is right down in there. Okay, obviously my alarm, because we put an alarm in this because of all the thefts and the attempted theft of this actual car. So right down in there, and a lot of people try to do them through the top. Okay, there's the passenger side. Reason I'm doing this is the driver's side is actually blown out. But as I was saying, a lot of people try to do this from the top, and you're not supposed to. If you look up inside your wheel well, okay, this right here is a little hatch for access to the headlights. You have one on each side. So what you want to do is start the car. To do this side, turn the wheel all the way to the right to give yourself clearance, okay? So bear with me a second. I'm going to start it now. We'll turn that wheel. All right, hang on a second. I still have the club on the steering wheel. I have to take that off so I can turn the wheel the rest of the way around. The club allowed it to turn so far, but not far enough. Okay. So now we're all the way to the... Shut that off. Lock that in place. There we go. All right, very good. So now, again, if you look up in here, right there's your hatch. So you need something to pull the pin, this plastic pin. All right, you should be able to see that right there. I think we have enough light right there. Okay, so I got to pop that so the flap will come down. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep you watching here. Just tough, you know, without pulling the tire off. You could have even more room, but we could see right here that this is the, there we go. And we'll pull that out. Once we get that so far, we can pull it the rest of the way just by popping it out of the flap. So you can see that's starting to come out now. There we go, very good. So now we can fold this down like that, and right there is your headlight. So what you're gonna do is reach up in and you're gonna turn that cover. You're gonna hope you can turn that cover. Hold on a second. Very snug. It's probably the original bulb, so it hasn't been out. So what we gotta do is get up in here and see if we can pop this cover off. I gotta use both hands here. Now I am doing this in the street, so there's a lot of racket. Come on, baby, there we go. Okay, so there's the cover. You see it's got a nice seal on it to keep the moisture out. So there's the cover. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn your bulb, again, it's gonna go counterclockwise to get it out of the assembly, you know, out of the housing itself. So hopefully you guys can see that without a problem there. See that? All right, so now we're gonna reach in and we're gonna turn this counterclockwise and pull this out, and there's the bulb. All right, so trick is, now we want to unplug the bulb, and there's a bad bulb. There it is right there. Okay, so we got that out, and right there you can see there's where it plugs in. All right, let me get one of the new bulbs. Always use nitrile gloves or latex gloves, powder free, to change your bulbs. You don't want to touch the new ones. You don't want to get hot spots. Okay, I think I've mentioned this before in other videos, but just to be safe, let me mention it again. Now what I have here, these are Philips. These are 30% brighter. These are the ones that I run in my truck. So pretty much the same set up as my truck, and should definitely do the trick. All right, now, if you're looking at this, all right, you see that notch there? This can only go in one way, so this should be like this to line up there. And then let's push this in. There we go. All right, so that's in. All right, make sure we're seated. So I don't think it may line up the other way. Let's see. I may have that upside down. Let's see. Let's put it like this. There we go. Okay, yeah. So you see there's this pin on top. So I'm pretty sure you want to be lined up like that. All right, and then again, you're going to put it back in. It can only go in one way. And you'll turn that, again, counterclockwise or clockwise to put it in. So there we are back in. You can see the lights back in. All right, there you go right there. Simple, painless, again. So what I do is I turn it clockwise to get it in, and then I pull out to make sure it's seated. So, and then what we're going to do is test it to make sure it's going to come on. And we should be on here. Nope, I guess the ignition has to be on for the headlights to come on in this car. I don't drive it that much. Like I said, it's my wife's car. Okay, so the lights are on, because what happened was the low beam was out on this side. And right, very good, we're on and we're on. All right, very good. So this side is done. I just got to put the plug back in. Let me turn this off. Turn the lights off. Go there. What I did was, you know, I'm replacing them in pairs. Obviously, one's bad. They say you should always replace them in pairs anyway. But since I'm putting in the brighter ones, I got to put them both in. And then basically what it is I'll have the extra one now as a spare, just in case one should blow. All right, so same thing. This has to be lined up. It's only going to go in one way. All right, and now going back on, it'll go in easier because the rubber seal's been broken. All right, so there you go. That headlight's in. Now we bring the flap back up, and what you do is you push this in like that, and you push the centerpiece in. All right, this side is done. So what I'm going to do now, I want to move to the passenger side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut the wheel back the other way now, and then get up in there to change that out. Now bear with me, I got to start it up. We'll crank the wheel back the other way, and then we'll get the other side done. Crank back the other way. We can come over here and let's take this side apart. All right, let's see. We'll get you down in here again. Try to turn you. There we go. Very good. All right, now you see up in there again, there's the flap. So right here, so we got to pull that pin down and pull the flap down. Okay. Do this real quick. This is not a hard job. Again, you don't need to go to your dealership for this. There's no reason for it. There's no reason to take it to a mechanic. Again, this is stuff you can do yourself. So get up in here, you gotta pop the center pin and then get to the outside one. And like I said, once we get that free, there we go. So that's down, and we'll pull that down. Now we got some lines in the way. That must be windshield washer lines. All right, so let me move you so I can crack this seal. Maybe I get it from the top. Let's see. All right, yeah, that's okay. All right, very good. So on this side, I could get it from the top easy. So again, there we go. That's the cap out. Now counterclockwise and get the bulb out. Back this out. Okay. Now this, again, this is a good bulb. So what we're going to do, we want to save this. So just in case we blow another one down the road, just be careful you don't touch the lens. And like I said, we'll save this as a spare, just in case. Bear with me, I'm getting another clean glove out to touch this new bulb. Again, you don't want hot spots. You do not want to get a hot spot. All right, so now we're back here. Again, you're going to line this piece up with this piece up here. Okay, right there. So let me get this in. This lined up here, we'll be in business. There we go. Okay, so bulb is seated, and again we'll put this in. And again, it can only go in one way, so get this into the housing. There we go. All right, locked in, ready to go. Get our seal back in. Again, this only goes one way. Now, got to get it to drop in first. It's binding up on those lines is what it's doing. So here, I'm going to put you here like this, and then see if I can get this from the top, just to make my life a little easier since there is room. And like I said, these have to be windshield washer lines is what I'm guessing. All right, let's see if we can get this in from up here. Come on, you only go one way. Let's go. There we go. All right, there's that. And then let's push our flat back. And on this side, the pin came completely out. So what I want to do is let me pull the center out. You gotta have the center pulled out so it can push back up in. So what that does is it allows these pegs to push in. So let's get up here. There's that. Come on, push up in here. Nope, not cooperating. I gotta pull that pin out a little further so it gives a little more room. There we go. Now we should be able to get up in there. Now let's see. You just want to make sure this is all the way up in, because otherwise you'll get road grime and water and stuff that'll push up in. All right, so that's in. Push the center in. Done. And that's how quick it is to change out your headlights on your Kona. Now this is a 2018. Okay, this should be the same all the way to 2022. All right, so this way you know, if you have up to a 2022, you know what you got to do. Again, it's easy. You don't need to go to a mechanic. You don't need to go to the dealership. You do this yourself. All right, with that said, thanks for watching. And as always, I hope you like it. If you do, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, because I have a couple more little things I have to do on this. And make a comment if it does help you. All right, thanks for watching.